ride. Oh baby, come for the ride. Come for the ride. Just put your head back and fly. Look in my eyes.
Hi, it's Neil Sean here on your entertainment news with the one and only, the legend that is Mr. Nicky Campbell. And he's got this brand new album out called We're Just Passing Through. My personal favourite. But, Nicky, remember?
If you miss it, you miss out.
So don't miss Nicky today on your entertainment news and buy the album. So Nicky, lovely to see you, and you've got this, now I'm shocked by this, second album. So tell us about the story from the first album to the second album.
Right, first album to the second album. Well, music's just in me, you know. It's that Kiki D song, I've got the music in me, do you remember that? It's going back a bit, we are old. But I've always, I've always written songs, and I met Mark Morahan on this programme called The Two of Us, where you had to sing with a celebrity. And we discussed our mutual love of swing music. And I said, well, I'll write you a swing album. And I did, I wrote him a swing album. And it got great crits, great reviews, and it did okay. And we just had a great time with it. We did some touring, we did some gigs. I've got a great band, wonderful arranger called Paul Buck. And then I carried on writing songs. And then I met Kate Robbins, you know, Paul McCartney's cousin of the famous Robbins.
Girl of many voices.
A girl of many talents. Of the Robbins show business
dynasty.
It goes on with the kids, actors, film stars, the whole bit, jugglers, plate spinners, they do it all. And I sent her my album, she sent me hers, and we discovered a real musical affinity. We both do words, we both do music, and we started writing by phone, sending little memos to each other and doing that. And over the last 2 years, we've written a whole lot of songs, and we've done an album with some. Paul Buck's arranged it again, fab musicians, and we're very proud of it.
Well, I always want to know, because I can't write songs, so I'm always in awe of anybody that can put a song together. When you get an idea, say if you're filling the car up, Nicky, or you know what I mean, I don't know, you say you're shopping, but did you always like jot titles down, you know what I mean? I think I like, it's playing around in my head a little bit, you know what I mean?
There's a song on an album called Let's Just See How It Goes, and it's basically...
That's a good title,
Yeah, well, it's basically about our lives together and all the sort of barriers and all the things, all the hurdles ahead, but, you know, whatever, we'll get through it, and let's just see how it goes. And that just, you know, it's the sort of phrase that comes to you. Sometimes a phrase comes to you before the song. Let's just see how it goes, and you think, that would be a great song because it's got a nice concept and lots of things will rhyme with it.
But when was this always a deep passion then? So when you've done so many, you look so young, I have to say, but you've done so many things. You've done Top of the Pops. I remember you on the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. But you know, when you were doing all those things, was that a passion really that was sort of bubbling away underneath, and you thought, someday I'm going to do music, you know, but you have to get to a point. Yeah,
I think if I hadn't done all that stuff, I would have done music full time, writing, hopefully film. I did start doing that, writing adverts full time. But what I've also found is that it's a great emotional release and a way to express yourself emotionally, and a way to deal with emotions and to deal with sadness and to deal with good stuff, to deal with bad stuff. There was a time last year when I was a bit like that, and there's a song on the album, the title track, We're Just Passing Through.
Which I love the... what's the story behind that? Yeah, tell me, because I love the lyrics.
The story behind it is really, I'm incredibly passionate about conservation, incredibly passionate about wildlife. I think what's happening in Africa to the wildlife there, specifically the elephants, 40,000 have been taken out a year for the ivory trade, illegal ivory trade. They're incredibly self-aware, beautiful animals, sentient animals with strong emotions. They mourn, they have joy, all those things which we can see a lot of ourselves in. Somebody actually said elephants are like us, except better. And I got very, very down and upset about it, working hard with people, having meetings behind the scenes. And I just thought, you know, at the end of it all, we're only here for a short time.
To do what you like.
We're here when we're gone. And it matters, everything matters so much, but then again, it matters not at all. It's kind of like that. And we're just passing through. Was almost a way of dealing with that. What can I do? I can scream in the middle of the desperate night, but at the end of it all, however bad things are, just passing through.
You've got some incredible shows at the moment. One of my favourites is every Sunday morning. I love the way you hold court and keep control of those people on The Big Question. Now, what I quite like about that is, do you know how fiery it's going to get? You know, because you look very calm, and yet they are quite rude, some of the people, aren't they? Yeah. About the debates.
You've got to treat everyone with the same respect. I mean, it's a moral and ethical religious show, so you've got to give the same respect to everybody, whether they think that they were once Mary Queen of Scots or whether they are, you know, just.
But what do you think?
Whatever they think. So when you go up to someone and say, right, let me speak to you now. Now you communicate with dead animals. You know, obviously there's a, with every respect to them, but there's a temptation to go, you know, but you shouldn't do that. And so you've got to just be calm with everyone and polite with everyone and let it all fly about around you. Yeah. That's the best way. Many's the time I've been tempted to stand there when somebody has said something and go, "You're nuts! Yeah. You're bonkers!"
I think that's what we're doing, actually.
Exactly.
I
can't do that. I can't. Maybe on my last ever show when I do it. There's that great show Network where Peter Finch is a newsreader and he goes crazy. I think on that my last ever show, I'll probably turn around to somebody and go, "You are do you realise you are talking complete and utter unmitigated bollards?"
Yeah.
And I'll do something like that. And I go out in a blaze of...
Now, Long Lost Family, as everybody, it is hard, I don't care who you are, not to get drawn into these stories. Now, I know it's TV and we know how it works, and it's quite manipulative, and there's scenes and all that.
No, it's not manipulative. That's the one thing I've done.
No, but I mean the camera angles, you know, like when they come up to you, you just think, oh, please don't cry, because I'm in flood sat there, you know what I mean? So it's that moment, isn't it?
Yeah, but the thing's real about it is that, you know, when that stuff happens, there's no jiggery-pokery at all. And the cameras are at a respectful distance, and they come in and they meet, and that's what happens. And that's a beautiful thing about this program.
Do you get a bit emotional?
Yeah.
Because it's history for these people, isn't it, as well? You know, it's a historical moment.
It's the most intimate, extraordinary moment in their lives, and we're privileged to share it. I mean, I get goosebumps when I talk about that program because I've been there myself, and I just know what to say to somebody, to be, you know, sitting to them, chatting to them, and say, look, you know, they gave their baby away at a mother and baby home when their baby was 6 weeks old. They've thought about their baby every single day between then and now they're 76. And to say, would you like to see, I've got a photograph of your daughter. To say that to somebody and to be with them as they take the photograph and they look at the photograph. There's no, I mean, and then Davina goes round to the daughter and says, we found your mother. I mean, these, you know, we're so lucky to be privileged to do that, and that's why it's such powerful TV, because it's completely real. And I said to the director at the end of the last series, we'd done our last shoot, and we hugged each other in a non-showbiz way, in a genuine way, and said, that's it. And she said, you know what? I said, what? She said, never in our careers will we do anything like this. This is unique. This is amazing. And it is. We won a BAFTA, which I could not believe. It was just a fantastic feeling. And afterwards, on the stage, when everyone had gone, Graham Norton, who was really funny on the night, I thought he was brilliant. He said to me and Davina, he said, that's my favourite show. And he said, do you know what I like about it? He said, you don't feel grubby watching it, you know, because it's done with respect. And that was a huge compliment.
There'll be transcendentals and monthly rentals, making love in cotton sheets.
Nicky, we're just passing through, is out July the 7th. Thank you so much for coming in. It's been a real pleasure.
It's been great passing through.